And there's the Minotaur, just shooting in multiple directions at once. Absolutely devastating. Look at that. And even when it's cranking on over and it's a little bit higher, the bottom guns are able to get shots off as it's banking hard, because the belly of the Minotaur, when it's cranking on over, starts to cant, and then they actually get firing solutions. So I think that's really cool. I didn't realize that until we saw the replay right now. If you take a look at all of our fleets right now, they're currently sporting a good amount of adamants and a good amount of manticores, and a couple of them are even graced with the presence of an Artemis Battlestar. I'd like it if each of the fleets can have an Artemis Battlestar to keep our commander safer, rather than be somewhere else where they're more easily, I guess, removed from the battlefield. In Daedalus, we are creating another Artemis Battlestar to try to get on out there. That's why we have so little Tilium. Currently, we've got 2 side missions, which will provide us with 500 to 600 requisition points. And if we look at our blueprints, one thing I'd really like to unlock is actually the Minotaur gunship. Apparently, just looking at the statistics, it sounds like it could be a really nice middle ground that'll just like flush out some of the holes that we have in our fleets. So I think my plan right now is to actually get Fleet Group Wanderer. We'll send them on over. They'll be able to get some points right here. And that's going to take up most of our Tilium. So if I actually jump, that's going to take up 30 Tilium. And we're going to go ahead and confirm that jump. And they're going to head on out to engage in this side mission. And then we're going to hold position, because right now I just started the Artemis Battlestar creation in the shipyard, and then we will end turn.
Has been detected.
Oh boy. All right, here we go. 3750. No idea what we're up against, and off we go. So one thing that the bunnies told me about in the comments, and I've been really excited to try out for myself, is to create a concept of a totem pole. So obviously this is a 3D battlefield. Oftentimes our adamants, they're weak from the front, they're weak on the bottom. So you want to scrape the bottom like of the, I guess, keep out diving your opponent and allow your guns to fire effectively on the broadsides and upwards. Now, if we were to take all of our adamants, in theory, we can stack them on top of each other. So it's showing that we have a bit of a conflict right here. But if I select and I raise it up, now no conflict. Now, why would I do this? A, it's funny. It's like a burger, right? It's like a massive, devastating burger. But more importantly, you can't shoot the bottom where it's weak if you can't access the bottom, right? It's like a shield walls. So I'm super excited about that. I don't know if that's gonna work, and I don't know if I want to start that close to the enemy, but God, that seems really cool. So let's go ahead and just get as high as possible with the manticores, like so. And then we'll go ahead and take our stack, our literal stack, and we'll just keep it as low as possible. We'll stack them right on top of each other. I would never have thought to do this. This is definitely sort of an Ender's Game moment where you realize, oh my God, the battlefield is in fact 3D, right? In fact 3D, and let's go. Here it is. I'm so excited about this. I wonder if we can just rotate in circles and just shoot anyone that comes our way. It's gonna be epic. Look at that. It's like one ship.
Marks a confirmed hostile.
Hostile indeed. Well, let's go ahead and remove those hostiles from the field. Have you seen my burger? Look at that. It's an adamant burger, especially for the Cylons, right? So right now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 contacts. Okay, fair enough. 6 Dratus contacts. What happens, we'll just select all these guys, and we are going to boost thrusters, and we're just gonna...
Yes, Commander.
That's epic. Look at that. My God, this impenetrable wall. A literal... It's like an electric fence. It's like an electric fence. That's what it is. It's an electric fence of Colonial Fleet metal. That's what. All right, let's go ahead and get our manticores, and we're going to cross this electric fence and climb. And the only other thing I'm going to do is launch all squadrons and go. There it is. There's the totem pole of doom. What's also awesome is that with a guided munition, since they fire out of the sides, we're not going to hit each other, right? Freaking amazing. All right, well, tell you what, let's go ahead and slow our roll. We don't want to get completely separated. They outnumber us, so we just got to be really cautious. We'll continue to climb. There it is. One thing I will do is get the Manticore on the right side just so that he can actually go line abreast here. And there it is. Perfect, perfect, perfect. And then we'll go ahead and get our boys, the Adamants in green, and they're going to continue to boost and stay low. Outdive your opponent. That's what I say. All right, there we go. Focus on the front. All Mark 1s. Oh, crap. I totally forgot to change our Vipers again. It's all right. One day we'll remember. Don't worry. It's going to be fine. Here we go. A little worried about this. Nemesis. We got a Nemesis. Singleton Dratus contacts a natural point of focus and wait until he reacts to this incredible broadside. I mean, can you imagine walking into this? This guy is the ballsiest Nemesis I've ever seen. So here we go. You ready? We're going to turn off boost thrusters. We're going to crank up the attack posture to maximum. And we're going to go ahead and give this guy the juice. That's right. We're going to keep him right in our broadside on the port. And then we're going to go ahead and grab our Manticores. And God help them. Actually, you know what? We're going to individually place this. It's going to be a handcrafted formation of the best kind.
Yes, Commander.
So we're going to go ahead and select all Manticores, move to an attack posture, and we're just going to slam into this guy like no other. So let's go ahead and try to lead the target. So we're going to go ahead and pull this over to this side so that we're coming in on his flank. Let him cross right in front of us, and all ships are going to focus fire right on that guy, and we're going to fire munitions. Although one thing I will do is probably not fire munitions here. So let's oh, you know what? It's too late, right? Can I cancel the target? These guys are firing perfect. Let's go. Here it comes. Look at this guy.
Missiles incoming.
Wow.
Unit is hostile.
God, that's terrifying. So all these shots are going to come in on our flank where we are stronger. So that's phenomenal. We've got 60 on the left, 60 on the right, and our front and our bottom are covered by each other. Together we are strong. Separated we fall. So let's go ahead and take a look at the Dratus contacts once again. We've got 3 Nemesis and 2 additional contacts afterwards. It might be 6 Nemesis. So let's go ahead and just keep focusing the same. Now, if we target this lead Nemesis with all of our capital ships, then we're going to be weak. The enemy's going to come around on our flank. So, you know what? Maybe we'll just let him eat the broadside and the Vipers attack, and then we'll crank the Manticores over. I kind of thought about diverting the Vipers to hit these Nemesis on the side, but I don't think it's going to be a sufficient force to protect us. So we're going to go ahead and have them continue to focus right here. The Adamants will go ahead and just double check that they're focus fired on Cylon 168. And then we're going to go ahead and continue to give them the juice. So
yes,
there
sir.
it is right there. And then we'll take all of our Manticores and they're going to pull it back maximum maneuverability. And we'll crank it left and rotate
yes,
right.
Commander.
Fire munitions and target the very outside right here. Focus fire on the very outside. Perfect. And let's go.
Missiles incoming.
How are we doing?
Taking damage.
Manticores firing guided missiles. Love that. And the top is open. And that's another Nemesis down. Beautiful. So right now we are dealing with, well, a 6 spot of Nemesis. Now 4 remaining. So that's phenomenal. And this guy is pretty much done. That guy is done. The first guy's done, which means we're dealing with just a 3. So I love this drive-by stack of Adamants. Absolutely massive DPS. And they're protecting each other's weaknesses. The left side of the Astraeus. Now, the Astraeus is our capital ship, so we've got to be cautious here. We do not want to lose it, but you know what? They already fired their salvo. I think we're going to be okay, and the Astraeus is the one right on the bottom. So we'll just kind of keep that in mind. You know what? I'm actually going to come out of the attack posture. We're going to move into a neutral state, maybe boost even, and then we're going to move on in and continue to dive. We'll get the Astraeus to come in at an oblique like that. That's going to be great. Focus fire right here. We're going to have all of our Viper Mark 1s to target Cylon 169, and then all of the Manticores are going to shift into an attack posture, and we're going to go ahead and crank it. Oh boy.
Yes,
you know
sir.
what? I might have to individually place these things. So let's go ahead and break right. Or better yet, no, come out straight. The middle one is going to slow its roll and climb. And this front one is going to crank on over. I mean, I suppose we can't really... We're not super maneuverable with the attack posture here. And we'll just make sure that they're all focused on the same. Yep, they are. So let's do it. Let's go. So right now, that guy's done. We're being hacked. And we're going to shut off boost thrusters soon. And this Nemesis is getting shot in the rear. That's what I like to see. Okay, so perfect. So let's go ahead and get the adamants. We're going to come off boost thruster. We're going back into an attack posture. And we're going to just come in on the oblique here and continue to give them our broadside. Now, I think we're still loading. So we've got one more turn until we can fire guided munitions again. Our manticores are still looking pretty good. So we're just continuing to pursue the enemy as they give us the butt. So there it is. That's the one we want to attack. The Vipers are going to continue to attack the same. And here we go. So here comes this massive fusillade. What a barrage. Devastation. And that's another Nemesis down. Beautiful. And there it is. Okay, so it's just come down to one. Oh my God. Wow, dude. The bunnies gave me this tip and it's so cool. It's so cool. My gosh. So how's the Astraeus doing? Does it still have armor on the left? Man, their DPS is just coming out like out of the woodwork. The enemy doesn't even get a chance to respond. Absolute devastation. Commander. We'll tell you what, we're going back into a neutral posture. We're going to boost up and we're going to move to attack. So we're like Mako sharks.
Yes,
we smell the blood in the water. That's right. All right, Manticores, you're good to go. Let's go ahead and dial that back. Focus on it, and it's time for missiles. That's right. Last enemy contact. We're going to fire. Oh, nope, not yet. Cancel target, focus fire. Let's go ahead and... Actually, you know what? We're going to finish the job. He's only got one hull remaining. In the meantime, everyone else is just going to shift targets. So end turn. That's a clear. Natural shift. Incoming right to the bottom. Bottom's now open. But that's all he had. That's all he had. And now for the chase and the rout. Gotta love this. So here we go. Manticores are up. The missiles are loaded and ready to go. And we're going to go ahead and fire munitions. Send it right there. Vipers, go ahead and focus fire. Beautiful. And adamants, let's go. We're going to turn off boost thrusters. Crank it on up to 6 attack. Crank it on over. Fire munitions. And let us go. God help you, Cylon. There it goes. 36. The rear is open. 18. And that's all she wrote. High five. Man, that is a cool totem pole. All contacts down. Mission complete. That's what we're talking about. So Winfried McGregor is ready to join the wall of fame out here. That's awesome. I mean, let's continue. We don't need to do the replay on that one. We saw how effective that was all in one go. So more importantly, now we have 1526 requisition points. That's gargantuan. And we're going over to blueprints and we're going to unlock the Minotaur. The Minotaur class gunship can now be built. Crew veterancy bonuses. The Minotaur warship is a testament to the pragmatic nature of the Erlen people. You build a ship, give it plenty of armor, and fit every other spare inch with guns. It is a cost-effective fixture for fleet groups looking to bulk up their firepower. Well, I'm always welcome to bulking up our firepower. My God. All right, let's go. So front, heavy turret, top, heavy turret, bottom, heavy turret, broadside, medium. But you know what? I would imagine it's got a certain volume, a certain joie de vivre right on that side where it's going to be able to dish out the juice. So I'm feeling pretty good about that. Now, how much is it? 900 points, but the Tilium's 375. Let's start getting some of these things on the field. I want to see this thing. Tilium's at 465. We're probably going to need it to jump. So now that we kind of took that turn off, that's going to be very helpful, having the Tilium. So if we look, Cylon Fleet 60 out here is at 3,900. So they're pushing that 4,000. We've got 2 fleets on top of, what is this here? Is it on top of Tauren? Obviously, it makes sense why they've defected. They've got freaking almost 6,000 points of Cylon Fleet above them. I would definitely defect too. And then we've got Cylon Fleet 19 out here, 2000, and then Cylon Fleet 14 at 2000. So unfortunate it is. What do we have here? Fleet Group Cavalry. Let's get Daedalus to cross on over to the right and then move to the optional objective. The reason why I'm going to do that is because Fleet Group Daedalus should be able to continue to produce the Artemis. And by the time we get out there, we're going to be able to reinforce the fleet down below. So we'll just want to make sure that we position ourselves, maybe like fall back a little bit, something like that. I don't know. Maybe we'll regroup. So if I were to jump here, it's 90 Tilium. Can we jump out here? We can. We can meet in Gnosis. So I'm actually going to pull out here. And then I'm going to move Fleet Group Daedalus to reinforce and assist. So 50 Tilium, we're going to go ahead and break on over to the right, like that. And then we've got Fleet Group Pogo. And they're also going to jump. Well, they've got 3,000 points. They should be able to handle 2,000. So what if we actually jump on over? Actually, no, we're gonna meet and regroup out here. So we're gonna head out here, and then we're gonna get Fleet Group Cavalry to jump nearby and try to assault that position. So end turn. So we've got Cylons bugging out. We're all meeting in Gnosis, and there it is.
Hostiles.
Chance to win 100%, chance of casualty, auto resolve, 0% chance of casualty. Yeah, we'll auto resolve that. That's awesome. Colonial victory indeed. Well, that's great. So we're able to clear that out, no problem. That's phenomenal. And that means we now have a quorum of 9 on our side and 6 not, as opposed to 8 to 6. So that's phenomenal. If we look at intelligence, we were at 100 some. We're only pulling in 79 right now. So having a fleet presence in these areas would be great. Let's go ahead and try to reorganize these fleets. I feel like Fleet Group Wanderer has been a little bit thin on firepower. If we look at our current build order, we've got 2 turns until we get our Minotaur and our Artemis Battlestar. I mean, that's going to be epic. We've got 384 Talium. We should probably hold in this position for a moment. Pogo is at 3,000 points. We've got Fleet Group Wanderer at 3,750. Fleet Group Daedalus is at 4,550. I almost want to just wait for 2 turns. Can I afford that? I mean, we could do a double jump. Let's get Fleet Group Daedalus out here. So they'll jump 120 Tilium, and we're going to jump and get the extra requisition. So let's do that, and then we'll just end turn right here. There it is. And let's proceed. So this is where we've got to protect a diplomat, I believe. And we're going to get requisition and Tilium, which is going to allow us to create more Minotaurs. And then after that, one more turn after this combat, and we're going to be able to get ourselves our very first Minotaur and another Artemis Battlestar. So I'd like it if we can regroup with Fleet Group Wanderer so we can provide them with a new delivery at the same time. So let's see what we can accomplish out here. So Fleet Group Daedalus has Damon Greeley, one of our best. Right now we've got Viper Mark IIs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We've got 6 Viper Mark II squadrons, and with this Manticore, unguided munitions here. And let's just make sure that we've got the appropriate Vipers. Yep, that symbol looks about right. And then guided munitions across. I'd like to make the devastating, well, taco. If I were to raise this up a little bit, what's interesting is I thought about having the Artemis Battlestar on the bottom, but that doesn't seem like a good idea because what's on the top is actually the massive Battlestar artillery. So I would imagine that having your Battlestar artillery at the soft underbelly of your other adamants, probably not the best thing in the world. So let's just go ahead and group up with our wolf pack and just rotate and see. Oh, nope, Dratus contacts back this way. So we're gonna have to change. We can't really change our facing as far as I'm aware. So let's just gain a little distance so that we have time to turn around. So we'll come in on the diagonal oblique like this so that we can at least present a line to them. Maybe we'll give ourselves a little more space just so that we are able to maneuver a little bit more easily like that. I like having the grid now that I'm able to use those spaces to line that up appropriately. And then we'll start near the Daedalus shipyard. Now I really don't want to have the Artemis Battlestar in a position where its bottom is getting attacked, so we'll need to watch our height very tightly. It's like a shield. Look at that. You gotta fight in the shade. Fight in the shade. Fight in the shade of the Artemis Battlestar. That's the way. All right, let's do this. Let's get these guys. There's the Daedalus, and here's the burger stack. Man,
Rendezvous point established.
I want to get
Objective is waiting
freaking
for arrival
gunships
of
in
evac.
there too. Can you imagine? You get the totem pole stack, and then you've got gunships as well. Holy moly, that would be nuts. They've got heavy turrets though on the top and the bottom and the left and the right and all kinds of places. I don't know. Let's see. So let's go in and start. Launch all squadrons. Those are 4 squadrons of Viper Mark IIs. The Daedalus is also going to launch squadrons. So launch all squadrons here. That makes 6 squadrons of Viper Mark IIs. We've got all of the Manticores. They're going to stay in a neutral posture so they can crank on over and present
Yes, Commander.
a little bit of a wolf pack to the enemy. And we're going to stay low. We've got not that Manticore, just the Adamants and the Artemis. And we're going to keep diving. And we're going to stay neutral. Crank it over. And we're going to dive.
So say we all.
And we're going to focus fire, I suppose. Ooh, we can see they've got a Talon. All right, they got a Talon. Let's go ahead and focus on the non-Talon. We know that our Vipers are going to launch. Let's see. And they're going to have to intercept. And then, where is this transport, actually? Oh my god, it's on the wrong side of the fight. That's not good. Let's try to loop around the Daedalus shipyard and then come around the backside like that. So here we go. All right, they're cranking it. They're cranking it. There's the burger stack. Double Talons up front. Oh, Revenant. Never mind. So this is a good test. The Revenant is a massive chunk of metal. It has a strong front. It has a strong top. Its sides and its bottom are weak, right? And it is lower than we are, which is unfortunate. So we'll need to, figure something out there. Let's go ahead and select targets. I'm assuming they've got some war drivers or something. Raider prototype. Let's go ahead and move to intercept. And we're going to get all of our Adamants and the Artemis. And they are going to come at the oblique and dive a little bit. Although I will say we're kind of losing our burger stack a bit. So I'm going to make sure that we're underneath here. And we'll just dive as much as possible. And then we'll stay right in the middle.
Yes,
there we
sir.
go. There it is. That's the very, very, very close formation right here, right? And I guess we're all focusing on the Revenant. So let's go attack posture because of Damon Greeley's massive CIC bonus. He's going to be able to provide +7 attack posture, which is insane. And we're going to focus right on the top where he is sort of strong. Fire unguided munitions. I think I want to wait because I feel like we're too far away. He starts blasting on through, we're probably going to miss. So we're just going to hang on to those munitions for now. And we're just focus firing. And then all the Adamants and the Artemis are also going to focus fire on the Revenant. But they're going to fire munitions and try to soften up the front with a massive 75 front armor. So here we go. Vipers are all peeling off to intercept the Raiders. This guy's cranking on and over. And he's given us his side. Very interesting. He's getting the heck out of Dodge.
IFF confirms unit
Absolutely
is hostile.
massive for us. That's actually huge. So he is giving us his weak side. That's pretty interesting. He's got another Revenant out here. So we're going to really want to watch ourselves because if we get too careless, let's deal with what's in front of us since he seemed to I'm surprised at that maneuver. He almost cranked a full over 90-degree turn, which is pretty gargantuan. Let's go ahead and continue to dive.
Yes, sir.
We'll give the port. We'll go into an attack posture. And we'll grab our Adamants. And we'll bring them, keep them in the stack. There it is. And we're at least going to be able to shoot them in the butt. The Manticores are in that attack posture. We're going to slow down a little bit, crank it on over.
Yes, Commander.
And then we'll boost on the next. But I'm willing to fire munitions right here. We may not really need it, but we'll see. So end turn. Look at this.
Squadron is taking fire.
Massive damage. Just dumpster fire. There it is. And the Revenant is cleared from the field. That's beautiful. All right, so we've got 1 Talon, we've got 1 Revenant, we've got our 6 Viper Mark II squadrons intercepting. Is there even a Raider prototype squadron? He's got 37 hull remaining, so yep,
Understood.
they're on the right of it. And then we've got multiple other contacts. I'm not seeing any missiles coming out. I'm not seeing any additional small Dratus contacts appearing, so I don't know if they're Talons. I feel like if we can crank the Manticore over to the side right here, we might be able to come in on the flank of the Revenant and at the same time try to screen for this transport. So let's go ahead and crank this transport all the way over, and it's going to get the heck out of Dodge. And then we're going to take all of our Manticores, we're going to come off the attack posture, maximum maneuverability, and we're going to crank it all the way over like this. There it is. So they're going to climb up, they're going to get on over, and by the time the Revenant, if it wants to engage, it's going to cross with its weak side by us, and then we're going to be able to turn, and we're already going to be line abreast, right? The only thing I'm going to probably want to do is get the middle, and let's go ahead and bring him, I guess like that. There it is. And then our Adamants and our Artemis, we're going to come off the attack posture, move for mobility, and let's see that Revenant, he's right here, so we want to give him this gigantic wall of doom, and we will keep diving. We do not want the Artemis to get hurt, and we can always throw up a flak wall too. So that's going to be great. So there's the Talon. We want to focus on the Revenant. That's the guy from the front. Although with the Talon, actually no. Well, until the Revenant's here, we might as well focus on the Talon. That's totally fine. So let's do it. Here we go. There's the Revenant. And he's giving us the side. Look at that. That's massive. So he's actually cranking over hard. I did not expect that. He is not moving to intercept, and he's given us his soft side and the rear. That's crazy. So they've got a Talon. They've got a Nemesis. Nemesis has that hacking. This is probably another Nemesis. We are getting, I'm assuming, guided missiles. That doesn't look unguided, and I don't know what the last contact is. So this is totally fine. Looks like we were able to handle the Raiders, well, no problem. And we'll just keep pursuing the Revenant with our 6 squadrons of Viper Mark IIs. Let's go ahead and focus on the Nemesis with the Manticores. While, I mean, not too much that we can do right here. So let's just go ahead and crank on over maximum maneuverability.
Yes, sir.
I'm curious if we can get away with the attack posture here. I mean, we are kind of in a nice spot, I would say. So
Yes,
if we
Commander.
slow this down and individually place ourselves. So let me zoom on in a little bit. We can descend a tad, and I think that is acceptable. We'll keep it a little bit closer.
Yes, sir.
And there it is. And then we're going to focus fire. I suppose the Vipers are going to have that in tow. We're going to focus fire on the Nemesis. We're going to do the same with the Adamant and the Artemis. I don't want to have to deal with all of these hacking shenanigans, right? I just don't know if we're going to be able to get into their optimal range. So let's go in and boost thrusters, and we're just going to crank it on out like so, as long as we can stick together. And we'll come on in towards them.
Yes, Commander.
Like that. Fire munitions will focus on the Nemesis. Cancel target. Nemesis, there it is. And go. So right now the Revenant's getting attacked by 6 squadrons of Viper Mark IIs. We're cranking our Manticores over. That Revenant is a clear, beautiful.
Missiles incoming.
And we are focusing on that Nemesis. That's great. So the missiles, I think, I mean, that's a weird angle for the guided munitions. Are they actually attacking the middle or the back? If they're attacking up here, you'd think they'd be higher in their trajectory. So, you know what? Normally I would go, okay, well, which one are they attacking? Let me go into a defensive posture, but let's just go maximum output and let's just dumpster this guy. So, I mean, I suppose this guy already popped his missiles, so I'm not too worried there. Maybe we'll just take the brunt of it, and we're going to focus on the Nemesis. And then with the Adamants and the Artemis, the only difference, I'm going to come off of boost thrusters. We're going to move into attack posture. And I don't know if we're going to be able to reach him with our broadside, but we're going to try. And there it is. We'll fire munitions on the Nemesis. And all of the Viper Mark IIs are actually going to change target and start to identify the other contacts, because I'm not too keen on them just dumping damage into the Talon just yet. So let's go in and end turn. Here come the hits on the left. He's open.
Taking damage.
We have another Talon out there, so I'm surprised.
Confirms unit is hostile.
Surprised that we don't have another squadron on the field. We got another Nemesis out here. So what is remaining? We've got 2 Talons and we've got 1 Nemesis. Now, you'd assume that the Talon was able to launch another prototype squadron or something, but I'm not seeing it. So, I mean, let's go ahead and just eat these Talon alive. The Manticores are going to focus on the Nemesis. Actually, you know what? Forget the Nemesis. Let's focus on the Talons. That's honestly, they're in the crossfire for all of our capital ships. So we'll start to descend. We're going to focus fire on this lowest of the Talons, fire unguided munitions and massive volumes of torpedoes into that guy and just drop him out. The Adamants, the Artemis, let's go ahead. I think we probably need to boost. I don't think we're going to be shooting this turn. So let's go ahead and boost thrusters, and we're going to get as much distance as we are able. Get closer. We're limited by the Artemis Battlestar. Focus fire on the lowest Talon right there, and we are going to go.
Manticore is taking damage.
Here they come. So this is the target of the Viper Mark IIs. There is the massive set. And the torpedoes just open that Talon up like crazy. Right now, we've got 2 enemy contacts remaining. Let's go ahead and sweep around to the Nemesis with all of our Viper Mark IIs. And everyone else going to focus on the Talons, right? So Manticores, let's bring that back. And we are going to just drop and dive, focus fire. Oh, never mind. It's only the Nemesis remaining. All right. Wow. That is a devastating barrage indeed. There it is. Focus fire. And we will have our... I don't think the Adamants or the Artemis are going to make it, but they'll continue to approach here and drop. And we're just going to get the transport to get the heck out of Dodge. Just keep moving, keep relocating, and let us go. Here's that poor Nemesis.
Missiles incoming.
He's done.
Sir, we've got a new greatest contact.
Oh, what? Okay, new contact. All right, so while I was celebrating, apparently I drove our transport right into his sphere of influence. So much for us defending the diplomat. All right, well, that's not good. This is actually really bad. Let's go ahead and crank it on out. And we got to get back. I don't know if we're going to be able to do that. Well, obviously, we've got a new contact.
Yes, sir.
Get in there to intercept. Actually, you know what? Get in there and defend. And I want them to defend the transport. I don't know if they're going to be able to make it in time, but if they need to, maybe at last second, they're going to shoot out some incoming missiles, because I'd imagine that guy's got a volley ready, and he's probably going to shoot it before we can even respond. So a little bit dicey here. Don't know how that's going to go. Everyone's going to crank it on over.
Understood.
And do our best to get there, but I mean, we're pretty far out right now, so maximum maneuverability, and here we go. Crank it through.
So say we all.
And can we fire already? No firing here. Try to fire. Unable to get a target lock. That's right. We don't see him yet, so off we go. At least one of your ships will collide this round. Oh, our burger stack. Okay, there we go. There it is. What are we dealing with here? New Dread's contact and our lone transport right there. He isn't firing missiles or anything, so that is a plus. Our Vipers are racing on back, and we're just going to give him the butt, turn tail, and run. And let's go ahead and boost up with everything that we got. So boost thrusters, maximum distance, our Manticores. We are going to boost thrusters, maximum gain, and let's go. What do we have out here? If it's a Nemesis, I'm surprised. I mean, I suppose he's going to have to spot for himself, so we're drawing him into our data list. Ooh, not cool. I'm seeing what can only be described as Corvette guns or something. Shoot him in the butt. I think it's a Nemesis, but I'm surprised he's not firing any sort of missiles or anything like that. So actually, let's go ahead. We're going to select a new target. They're going to go on the offensive, but I am going to take the Daedalus Mark IIs They're going to defend the transport. So we're sending 4 squadrons out to intercept and 2 to intercept any sort of incoming munitions that they're able to. Everyone else is just going to continue. Hopefully we'll be able to make some contact.
So say we
Dratus
all.
contact, and then we can all fire guided munitions, unguided munitions, just basically everything that we possibly can. So let's see what we got. Here we
A
go.
civilian ship is being attacked.
All right, ship's down to 22. It is a what? What is this?
Manticore is taking damage.
What the heck is this? Cerastes. Oh man, this is a new ship. Wow, our transport's in trouble. What is this? It looks so cool. I wish I could get in closer. My God, we're gonna have to watch this replay. Okay, let's just focus on the task at hand. Do not change the assignments here. So Manticores, we are now going to turn off boost thrusters. We're coming into with a full attack posture. And let's get a little bit of a better perspective, and we are going to descend, focus fire, fire munitions, fire everything, adamants, fire munitions, Artemis. I mean, we haven't guided missiles, fire munitions. We haven't had to use the flak at all. We're not in range yet, so let's go ahead and select the burger stack and just boost on the oblique. And let's hope for the best. Let's hope for the best. Here they come.
Manticore is taking damage.
Cerastes. Massive damage. God, it's so cool looking. Yeah, I think we've been able to do it. Oh good, the diplomat jumped out, I believe. Okay, perfect. Just keep it rolling, There's no reason to change this. Just get in there and trash this guy.
Manticore is taking damage.
There it is. High five. Beautiful. Man, the Vipers just keep the pressure on no matter what's happening with the capital ships there. We almost lost the Manticore.
Well done, Commander.
Man, that is our first Cerastes, so what's the deal? So here we start with the burger stack. We've got 2 Talons, a couple of Revenants, a Nemesis, and we're getting our Vipers launched and moving to intercept. I love that. See, the missiles are coming out the side, so that means that we aren't risking hitting our own guys, which is awesome. One of the bunnies pointed that out in the comments the last time. Freaking amazing. So thank you so much for your help. Massive side damage as the Revenant tries to run, just seeing this horrifying totem pole of doom. Manticore takes a hit. Nemesis sends another salvo. That was the far left contact, and we're chasing down the second Revenant. There are 2 Talons below. The Viper Mark IIs are taking out the Raider prototype squadron. It should be cleared by now. And goodbye Revenant number 2. And then we focus on the Nemesis, get him out of the fight, and then dumpster fire the Talons with massive unguided munitions from above and broadsides from the side. There it goes. God help you. Eat the burger stack. There we go. Oh, it's so cool. Snap that guy. All right, here we go. There's that other Nemesis trying to hack us out. And then they descend from the heavens with massive Corvette fusillade fire. And there it is, the Cerastes. What is that? I think we can look it up in the codex, right? Never seen one of these before. Seems like extreme range for its guns there, hitting the transport in the butt. We've got 2 Viper squadrons breaking off from the Daedalus shipyard to move to intercept. There are the shots coming in. And the transport goes from 32 down to 22 hull. Vipers move to block. Cerastes cranks it on over once the Manticores and the Adamants are in range. And incoming unguided munitions. You can hear it. The left and the rear is open. And then that's all she wrote. Vipers push. They break off now that they've protected the transport, and then they keep up the pressure, and the Cerastes is clear. Not too shabby. High five. My God. Pretty epic. Man, what is the Cerastes? I want to see that. That thing looks so cool. The Cylons have some really cool ships now. I remember seeing that Arachne and thinking, oh, it's one of ours, but it wasn't. So if we go to intelligence, oh, not intelligence, we go to, I think, blueprints, and we say codex, and I want to see the Cerastes. There it is, the Cerastes. A small and agile gunship created as a response to the rapid escalation of Colonial Viper design. Ooh, yeah, they know all too well. I use too many Vipers, right? The Cerastes is fitted with point defense turrets similar to those found on the flight pods of Battlestars and specializes in softening hostile fighter squadrons. So point defense is usually what we have on the broadside of the Artemis, I believe, right? So if we take a look here, Artemis Battlestar, you can see broadside point defense turrets. So it appears that they have their own version, which is maybe a cheaper, better mass-produced Cerastes with point defense turrets on the broadsides as well, but also on the front. And the front is what was chasing down our poor transport. Very, very cool. Fleet points 25% unknown. Very, very cool. So I like this. As we fight more of them, then we know a little bit more about them. So I'm curious if that's based off of kills or if it's based off of sightings or anything like that. But very, very good job. We now were able to acquire a little more RP and a little more Tilium. I'd like to upgrade our officers, but I'd also like to continue to crank out ships, right? So right now, I'd like to get more Minotaurs. We are one turn before we get our Minotaurs online. So let's go ahead and get the Daedalus. If we take a look at the Cylon fleet, it's 3750. So I'm going to suppose we could meet Fleet Group Wanderer here. And we've got Fleet Group Cavalry. They could actually jump on over and tackle the main fight. But I think I'm going to wait here. I'm going to let them rest their jump. It's at 30 Tilium, though, so that's totally fine. And we're going to get our Fleet Group Daedalus. Let's see, we have... Oh, nice! We've got a new Corvette that has been created. That's cool. I'm curious. It would be really, really nice if we'd actually join it up with Fleet Group Daedalus, so we're only using one payment when we need to jump, right? For the Tilium. Who wants to tackle this? I suppose Fleet Group Wanderer. So we will jump in to intercept. It's 3750. Fleet Group Daedalus. Let's meet together. So we're going to jump right next door. That's 120 Tilium. That's expensive. And we're going to get Fleet Group Wanderer. And we are going to jump as well. And we're going to jump in. That's 30 Tilium. That's no problem. And I'm going to move Fleet Group Pogo as well at 20 Tilium, and they're going to come on in. And then I'm also going to jump. I know it's expensive, but I want to converge because this is when our ships are actually being created, right? So how are we sitting? RP 976, intelligence. What is the, I'm sorry, not intelligence, blueprints. What's the next thing that we can unlock, right? So we've got the Minotaur, the Ranger. Oh, that's right, the Ranger. And the Minotaur gunship looks like this. It looks very, they look very similar. The adamants and everything, but very cool. All right, well, let's end turn. We are all converging on the fleet.
Escort group has been detected.
And there it is.
Artemis
At least we're grouped together. Okay, so what do we have? We now have a brand new Artemis. We've got a brand new Corvette. So let's see, Artemis Battlestar. Let's go ahead and transfer this over to Fleet Group Wanderer. Perfect. Does not have enough space. I mean, that's totally fine. Let's go to Fleet Group Wanderer and make some space. So that means getting rid of either a Corvette. We can detach one of the Corvettes. We can pull, I think Fleet Group Wanderer has, yeah, up to 5,000 points. It's 1550, so we should have enough. Let's go ahead and transfer this into Fleet Group Wanderer. Now we're at 4,800 points, right? So Fleet Group Wanderer is now the highest point count, right? 3 adamants. We've got a Battlestar. And we've got 2 Manticores. That's pretty epic. I mean, it would be cool if we went... I want to get the Minotaur as well. So the Daedalus. Daedalus can probably transfer out the Dedun. We now have a little bit of space. It's going to cost us 900 points to get the Minotaur, right? I think it's this one. And we're going to transfer this into Daedalus. So now they're at 4,950. So what does this look like? So Fleet Group Daedalus now has a Battlestar. It has a Minotaur. It has 2 adamants, and it has 2 manticores. Man, that's so cool. I can't wait to check that out. That's going to be awesome. So Fleet Group Wanderer is maxed out, and Fleet Group Daedalus is maxed out. That means everything else needs to go into Fleet Group Pogo. He only has 1,000 points, and I think we've got 2 veteran Corvettes, so let's add that over to Pogo. and we'll transfer both of them in a pogo, and now it's sitting at exactly 4,000. Now, what we could do is go to the officer and upgrade them so that they have a little more capacity. So I think it's Winfried McGregor or Ramiro. Which one is it, actually? Fleet Group Pogo has Ramiro Corthorn. Oh, he's like the newbie. He's rank 1. Okay. To promote him is going to cost 500. That's massive. I mean, I suppose we kind of need to do it, and we're going to go ahead and increase his command so that he's got a better, like, command of his fleet, and then he's going to be able to absorb this last Manticore in a Fleet Group Wanderer. Oh, not quite, not quite. Fleet Group Pogo. Hit the maximum ship count of 7. Oh, ship count. Okay, never mind. So no one can absorb that thing. I guess it's just going to follow us around in the meantime. I mean, it would be cool if we could do something else with it. Let's see. So we've got Fleet Group Daedalus. We've got Fleet Group Wanderer. The Kern is now the flagship. So that's where Winfried McGregor is going to be. The Ligurian is the flagship for Fleet Group Cavalry. And we've got a Wayward replacement corvette ready to go. So unfortunately, it seems like we've had way too many Manticores out here. So we'll have to do something about that. We should probably take a turn off because we need to cool it on the Tilium expense. What I would like to do, though, is start building already. Let's build a Minotaur, and then we'll just let that roll. So end turn right here.
Strike fleet, sir.
We could move to intercept with the Ligurian. So we'll jump on in. Out of range. Oh, really? Oh, I suppose we've got to do an intermediary jump, right? Yeah, we'll come out this way towards Helios Gamma with Fleet Group Cavalry. And now that we've rested things, it's going to cost 50 Tilium instead to move. So let's go ahead and jump in with Fleet Group Daedalus to Gnosis. And then with Fleet Group Wanderer, we'll be able to jump them out to Troy. And then they'll be able to hopefully intercept right there. So let's do it. Here we go. Troy vacates.
Action stations.
And now Daedalus has been
Daedalus.
assaulted. All right. Well, this is good. We get to take our brand new Minotaur into the fight for the very first time. I should probably take a look at the turrets. I did not do that. I know it's got like front. It's got sides as top and bottom. So I don't think it's going to work very well in our totem pole of doom. Yeah. Wait, this? Is this the Minotaur? Hang on. Is that right? This thing? Yeah, this thing is huge. Oh my god, this thing is huge. Jeez Louise. Wow. So where are the Dratus contacts? Oh, they're behind us. All right. Fair enough. Well, okay. I'm not too sure how to use this yet. I assume stay low is like not a bad place to start. And we probably want to stick together, but at the same time we probably need to be off on the side. Let's go ahead and have our adamant down below. We'll have the Artemis here, and then we'll cram the adamant right in between, and we'll do the same, but we'll lower the Artemis like that. We'll have the Manticores high up, and they'll be able to just crank their way into the enemy. God, I want a totem pole for everybody, because if you think about it, being able to turn in any direction, no problem, is not the worst, right? And we might as well stick together, so we'll have our Minotaur out here as well. All right, let's do this. Oh man, we got a brand new toy to play with. Go figure. So excited.
Jump in 3,
And this is our
2,
best. Damon Greeley is
1.
here. That is the Minotaur. God, that thing is huge. Huge. It's like as big as a Battlestar. That's nuts. So first things first, let's go in and take a look, right? So turrets. So here is a Minotaur gunship. My God. So it has turrets from the front. It looks like it's right on the bottom, so I'm assuming it shoots from the front and down. It has turrets on the bottom. Oh, look at highlights. Wow, so that's definitely shooting down. The front is... oh, on the top. Okay, so the front turrets probably shoot to the front and up. The bottom turrets definitely shoot well, down. God, that's a lot of turrets. Look at that. How many? 1, 2, 3. There's 6. My God. The top turrets are all in line so they can shoot either left or right, I assume, and up. That's 6 on the top, 6 on the bottom, 2 on the front and up, and then left broadsides with heavy turrets. Wow, that's a lot of guns. That is a lot of guns. That's like almost, what, 30 guns? That's 6 on the top, 6 on the left, 6 on the right, 6 on the bottom, 2 in the front. Jeez Louise. That's super exciting. Okay, well, tell you what. We've got to turn this show around, right? So let's go in and grab, we'll say back. We're going to grab our Manticores. They're in a mobility-focused posture. We will climb,
Yes, sir.
come out on the oblique. We're going to have our Adamants and our Artemis and our Daedalus, and we're going to launch
Yes,
all
sir.
squadrons. That makes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 squadrons of Viper Mark IIs. We're going to have our Minotaur, I guess. Let's see, where's the strongest armor? The top is at 60. The left, right, and bottom are the strongest. Interesting. The bottom as well. The top is at 60. I mean, it's pretty well armored. As long as you don't give them the rear, you're kind of okay. It's actually pretty awesome. Well, let's just square off with the enemy and give them broadsides and stuff like that. Man, if we can keep the enemy to the broadside and above us, that means that spinal set of 6 heavy turrets as well as the broadside heavy turrets are going to be able to hit, and maybe even the front if we rotate around. So, okay, I think we still want to stay low if possible. That's freaking epic. And then we'll get our Artemis and we'll get our Adamants, and we are also going to crank it around as far as we're able and down. We want to keep diving, and let us go. Collision detected. Oh, right, because the Adamants are doing maybe too close of a formation flyer. And there it is. Let us go. Here they come. We have 7 Dratus contacts. Vipers have now been deployed. Man, this Minotaur is going to be insane. Let's go in and get right into the thick of things. So we're cranking it on over. Actually, let's go in and boost. Oh, maybe not just yet. I want to actually come at him like that, and we'll bring ourselves lower, and we're going to do the same with our Adamants and our Artemis, and we're just going to crank it on over like so, and come in at the oblique. And then our Manticores are honestly there at this point to try to
Yes,
assist with identifying the enemy, etc. So let's go ahead and just try to make contact as soon as possible. And we are on our way. All of the Viper Mark IIs are going to move to, I mean, God, it doesn't even matter. Just intercept something
Understood.
right now. And here we go. We're cranking it full 180. There they go. Identify. All right, so we've got 3 Talons. 3 Talons identified. They're sending in squadrons.
Unit is hostile.
And a Nemesis. So 3 Talons, a Nemesis, and then unknown 3 more Dratus contacts. Okay, perfect. So let's go ahead and have our Viper Mark IIs. We're going to focus on the incoming Raider prototype squadrons. And then we're going to have our Manticores come out into a maneuverability focused posture. They'll climb. I want to get some contact, because when the Vipers make contact, they'll be able to see, and we'll be able to dump in some unguided munitions, which is going to be great. We don't have any special munitions outside of the actual turrets themselves on the gunship, so we're going to boost thrusters, and we're going to try to stay low, come in on the oblique. We'll have our Adamants and our Artemis Battlestar sticking together, boosting on in on the oblique, and let us go. Here we go. We just need to close the gap. So 3 Nemesis, 2 Talons. Well, 3 Talons, 3 Nemesis. No idea what the last one is. That's 2 sets of unguided munitions. This Manticore is about to take a bunch of guided missiles, right? So we're going to move into a defensive posture. Okay, so we have confirmed all Dratus contacts. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 Nemesis, 3 Talon, 3 Raider prototype squadrons, so very even distribution. Okay, fair enough. So I guess the question is, where do we focus? This guy's about to get hit. There's not much that we can do about it. So let's actually just turn him out here. And he can actually dive. He's in a defensive posture. We're actually going to shift on over to an attack posture with his I guess, lance mate, so to speak. And then we're going to come and dive down a little bit and just basically run screen. We'll have the Minotaur come down at an oblique, but also provide broadside. And we're going to come out of boost thrusters. We're going to increase the attack posture. The Talons are coming in pretty quickly. So crank down, and we're going to focus fire on the Nemesis. Perfect. And it looks like it's a Cylon Elite. You can tell by the little icon, I believe. So the Adamants and the Artemis will go ahead and crank it on back. Attack posture. And we're going to do the same. Dive and give them the broadside. We're going to focus fire. And there it is. You can see the Cylon Elite icon right there. We'll focus on the same. We're probably not close enough, but we'll fire munitions. And we'll hit that Cylon Elite. So it's like he's got veterancy status. And then we've got all of our Viper Mark IIs, and they're continuing to harass and destroy.
Yes, sir.
32 hull remaining on that lead Raider prototype squadron. And I think that's all we can do, although the Manticores can loose munitions. And I mean, let's loose it on a Talon, but I don't know if we're going to be able to land those.
Missiles incoming.
Incoming. Manticore's completely open. Incoming unguided munitions, and they're hitting from the top. That's excellent. And this Nemesis is getting hammered. Oh man. Okay, now I want to see the Minotaur because it's about to just broadside all of this, right? Freaking epic. So here we go. We're gonna go and give him the broadside, and we're gonna dive. That's great. And we're gonna do the same. Just keep on the oblique. Keep giving them the broadside in attack posture. Just keep diving. And oh no, this Manticore is having a bit of trouble here. Let's go ahead and get our repairs on, and we're gonna crank this around, and we're gonna dive and give him the rear where we still have some armor. And this guy, I think, is gonna boost right on by. So we're gonna boost thrusters, and we're gonna gain a huge amount of forward distance. Now, I guess the question is, who are we gonna focus on? Right now, this Talon is untouched. The hull on the top is breached. This Nemesis could get trashed. So what I'm going to do, we'll have the Vipers continue to take out the Raiders. Are there any remaining? There isn't. So what I want them to do is actually focus and finish this guy, allowing the capital ships to change target as they rotate in oblique. So we're going to go ahead and focus fire here. Focus fire on this incoming Nemesis. That's perfect. And I think we got this. All right, go. I am worried about the Manticore, but we can't worry about it. This Nemesis is in trouble. That Nemesis is done. Oh my god. Wow. This Manticore is no joke at all. So we just lost out a Manticore. He was taken out, unfortunately. We lost one. So, and one of our Viper Mark II squadrons has almost been depleted. But they lost 2 Nemesis in the process. So Talon, Nemesis, and Nemesis. Well, tell you what, for the Viper Mark IIs, let's go ahead and have them get rid of the guys that are out of reach. And then in the meantime, we'll have our capital ships just doing their best to just continue to just unleash massive volumes of fire. We're going to focus on this Talon down below. He's the one that has suffered catastrophic damage to the top there from the unguided munitions. And we'll have the remaining Manticore turn off boost thrusters, and he's going to come around, and we're going to break over to the left, and we're going to start to dive and focus fire on the same Nemesis out here as the Viper Mark IIs. So let's continue. So look at this guy. Just getting hit massively by endless broadsides. That's so impressive because that's not guided munitions or anything. That's just straight up gunfire. And we're now 1 turn away from being able to be fully reloaded. So let's come on in. We're actually going to move into an attack posture.
Yes, Commander. Get
the Corvette guns on that guy. Although I suppose we need the distance more than anything else. So I'm actually going to keep chasing.
So say we all.
In a balanced posture. This Talon's pretty much done. He's got 16 hull and he's opened up everywhere, which is great. I almost feel like we should just fly right in the middle of this formation. Because if you think about it, this Minotaur has guns on the top, the sides, the front. I mean, the only guns he's not bringing to bear are the bottom guns, but that's okay. He hasn't really been hit, and he'll be able to shoot in both directions if he just goes and bifurcates this formation, if you want to call it that. In the meantime, we'll just continue to, trash these guys from the outside of their formation, just slow rolling it and just dumping in our port side into them. Fire munitions, we're going to focus on the neck. Actually, no, let's focus our munitions on the Nemesis. This Manticore is going to focus on that Nemesis and go. Here we go. So that Talon's out. We're sending guided munitions to this Nemesis. This Manticore is getting shredded from the bottom, but he still has some armor. He's getting hacked.
Manticore is taking damage.
All right, well, we'll just chase down these Talons. Let's bring that around. And what's kind of interesting, even if we focus fire here, I would imagine our guns are almost also going to reach out and broadside this Nemesis right here, right? So maybe I'll focus on the Nemesis. I want these guys gone so we can hit the slower, less agile Talons, right? I actually probably want to come into a neutral posture so we can actually kind of give chase.
Yes, Commander.
So we're going to stay low here. And we'll send shots to the Talon. This Manticore is now switching on over to attack posture, and it's just going to descend. And we will fire unguided munitions right into the top, and we will just continue to assault that Nemesis. That looks pretty good. I'm really liking this Minotaur so far. It's kind of awesome. So let's see what it does. There's a Nemesis. Front guns. Look at that. Shooting in both directions at once. Crank it on out. That Nemesis is, is basically done. That's epic. And we'll be able to come into a neutral posture with a Manticore, turn that around as hard as we can, and start to give chase. All of our Vipers are going to focus here to finish that guy. And then we're switching with our capital ships as we normally do. And we're going to crank down.
On it, Commander.
Give them the oblique. And honestly, it doesn't even really matter what we target. I think they're going to target acceptably, right? So we'll just grab our Artemis and our Adamants, and we're going to boost and come in on the oblique. And then we will just end turn and see how this rolls up, right? So that Nemesis is down. We've got 2 Talons remaining. God, look at this single Minotaur. God, I want more of these things. Look at this. Very, very impressive durability, damage output, everything, and stuck together. This core group of 4 is just massive, supported by all of the Vipers. That is nuts. So, I mean, yeah, let's just keep it rolling. Let's go. The Vipers keeping up the pressure. There it is. 1 Talon remaining. Yeah, I mean, with the Vipers, he's not getting away. There's nothing he can do. I mean, it's pretty much over for him, right? So, I mean, all we can really do is just crank off boost thrusters, just move together, keep diving, and that's it. And that's all. The Manticores, I suppose, can boost thrusters and close that gap. But I don't know if it's necessary. Honestly, the Vipers are going to finish the job. That guy's already open in many places. Look at that. Yep. And they're catching up with him. There it is, and his hull is just plummeting. Just keep it rolling. No point in changing this. Man, I really want to see the Minotaur. That's nuts. All right, come on, come on, come on. And go. There it is. Beautiful. Man, that was something. We lost a Manticore. Fortunately, we got a backup Manticore, right? That's not too bad. Go Damon Greeley, yeah? So let's go in and watch this as the last one for the episode, but my god, I like this Minotaur so far. So we all had to crank it a full 180. Coming around, Vipers are launching. We've got those 6 squadrons. Man, they keep giving us cooler toys to play with. There's so many guns. Outside of the Battlestar artillery, I want to say maybe even more than the Artemis, right? But obviously we don't have the Vipers and we don't have the massive set of incoming munitions. Okay, so our Minotaur just takes a beating here. We're in defensive posture at that point, but it's already too late. We dump unguided munitions into the top of the Talon, brings it down to like 3 or 4 armor. At this point, there's our stack and there's the Minotaur on the far left. We lose a Manticore, but they lose way more. way more. Give them the guns in every direction. So point defense turrets coming off the side of the Artemis there. But it's like offensive point defense. That's an interesting one. There goes the Talon. So not the most riveting capital ship maneuvering, but my god, just the pure guns. I like this totem pole stack. And there's the Minotaur, just shooting in multiple directions at once. Absolutely devastating. Look at that, and even when it's cranked down on over, and it's a little bit higher, the bottom guns are able to get shots off as it's banking hard, because the belly of the Minotaur, when it's cranking on over, starts to cant, and then they actually get firing solutions. So I think that's really cool. I didn't realize that until we saw the replay right now. And there's the follow-up. Last Talon. Vipers carrying the day once again. Golly. Man, I can only imagine if you had an Artemis Battlestar, 2 Minotaurs, and some Adamants. Dear God. That's nuts. So where are we at? That's where we were ambushed when we moved to Gnosis, right? And that was Daedalus Shipyard. Well, we were able to clear that Cylon Fleet. Apparently they've got more here, right? So Cylon Fleet 60 is at 3,900, Cylon Fleet 36 is at 3,950, and we've got Cylon Fleet 55 at 3,900. Daedalus right now is a little bit under power at 4,450. We lost 1 Manticore. We could use another. I almost feel like they should rest right here and we should jump in to assist. So we've got Fleet Group Wanderer. I kind of want to get down below and start to put our presence into Tauren and stuff like that, so we can actually start to sway some of the colonies back on our side. So I'm going to go ahead and jump Fleet Group Wanderer. And actually, you know what? Instead of coming down this way, we could always just jump into where Fleet Group Daedalus is. I mean, why not? There's no point not to. And then what if we hold with Fleet Group Pogo and we actually jump this Manticore as a replacement back over here, over to Gnosis? And then we can have Fleet Group Cavalry. Well, I guess we'll move to contest that space. So they'll head on over. And how much Tilium do we have now? 151, so not much at all. But that's going to be epic. We're going to have so many of our fleet converging on Gnosis, where they've got almost 8,000 points of Cylon Fleet. And then we've got Fleet Group Cavalry moving to contest Cylon Fleet 55, another 3,900 point fleet. So that's going to be a pretty big hit. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. So far, I really like the Minotaurs. They've got 6 on the left, 6 on the right, 6 on the spine, 6 on the bottom, and 2 in the front. And overall, they're able to, no matter where they turn, just gauge multiple targets at the same time. So a real force multiplier out there. And I think a very nice feeling of security, like a security blanket for our fleet. So I'd like to have at least 1 per fleet, as well as 1 Artemis Battlestar for the commander per fleet. So I think that's going to very quickly become the backbone of each of the fleets that we field, and I think it's going to be really, really cool to play with. So I'm really excited about the new tactic as well that the bunny shared with me, the ability to stack like a totem pole and become our own little like adamant Artemis Battlestar burger. I think it's been really, really effective. So thank you to the bunnies for helping me out there. If you enjoyed the episode, please feel free to like, share, or comment down below. It helps us a great deal. I had a total blast. I hope you did as well. And I can't wait to get into the next one with you. Have a wonderful, wonderful night.